pandemic impact. So I've put a little bit, I sent Peter Laura an article yesterday that I found really, really interesting, and I've just taken a couple of snippets from it, that article, because I know we're doing isolation impacts, but I thought it might be a good idea just to have a look at the wider pandemic impact that it's had on people, and then what we can do about that. So it's only a couple of slides, but I thought it's not exactly isolation, but I thought it would link in quite nicely, because we're linking isolation at the moment to a lot of COVID stuff. Okay, so pandemic. The pandemic has increased burnout at work. So people, in fact, I've got a slide next. Sometimes people are working at home. Sometimes there's no cut-off now between work and home, and I know that's something, again, talking to Peter Law on here, I know that's something that Pete, has talked about with his team, and finish at a certain time, go out for walks, have a break. All this type of stuff's really important, but a lot of people, and I was talking, one of my clients is the Open University, and I was talking to one of my contacts there the other day, and she was saying exactly this thing. There's no cut-off time now. For the first 2 weeks of lockdown back in March, I also worked from home, and I went straight into that mode, no cut-off kind of thing. The personal and work day was starting to merge, and the work day was getting a bit longer, and so on and so on. So there's been a little bit of burnout, but also, and Pete mentioned this just while we were chatting there at the beginning, people are generally getting tired. Okay, there's been that much change and transition this year, which is why we've done a back to basics session, but it's on in half an hour after this. People are just generally getting a little bit tired if they've been, because of all the change that's been going on. So again, another reason why to help people's motivation as well, okay? And people can help people when it comes to motivation. Causes of workplace stress differ for first line and remote workers. So there's still a stress in there, but between first line workers and remote workers, the stress is now a little bit different. And maybe some of the first line workers have become remote workers, and so on and so on and so on. So again, stress in there, different types of stress though, for different types of people in the organisation. No commute may be hurting, not helping remote worker productivity. So people, I remember saying, you probably heard me say it if you were on my sessions right back in the day, after the first kind of month or so, I was saying things like, oh, do you know what I know I'm missing going out and seeing people, but I don't miss the driving, and I don't miss the travelling, and so on and so on and so on. And for a while that was still true. I was up in Belfast and Manchester last week, actually quite enjoyed the journey. And I think that's because I haven't done it for such a long time. So what that commute did that we might not be able to think about all the time, sometimes the commute to where you're going and the commute home gives the brain time to think about what your working day on your way there and release from your working day afterwards. So again, and I know I keep banging on about this, but if you're working from home, why don't you have a 10-minute, 20-minute walk in the morning and a 10-minute, 20-minute walk when you finish work? And that would be like your commute, if that makes sense. So again, there's something that we can do about this. Okay, that commute might be hurting, or the no commute might be hurting. There's no reason why you can't do a little commute, but you could probably make it healthier for yourself. So whereas you might have been stuck in the car for 30 minutes, getting to the office or wherever you normally go for work, there's nothing stopping you going, right, well, I'm going to go out for a 15-minute walk. When I get up, I'm going to set up, get ready, and then go for a 15-minute walk. Okay, I'm going to think about my working day, and then when I've finished, I'm going to go for another 15-minute work, and then your brain can download from the work at the same time. It's certainly, I have a little drive to the office and back, but of course I'm travelling nowhere near what I was travelling before, and it's certainly something that's made me think after reading that article yesterday. Yes, I'm having my little journey to the office and back, but actually, I would normally sometimes have an hour and a half in the car just thinking and debriefing as I'm driving in my head and all that type of stuff. So maybe, you know, I can get home and I can go for that little walk or whatever it needs to be and so on. So just something to think about, okay? Studies show meditation can fight burnout and stress during the workday. So we're going to pop on to meditation later, or mindfulness, or whatever you want to call it, okay? It's not new age. We're not going to kind of sit there cross-legged humming or anything like that. And I have done a whole section. Oh no, it's coming up, isn't it? Sorry, 18th of December. Yeah, on the Christmas special, we've got a Christmas special one, but the same day we've got a mindfulness session there as well. So that's hopefully going to try and keep people in the moment during Christmas and be able to enjoy Christmas, because of this burnout that we talk about this year. Christmas is quite a good time, and I know not everybody's going to get the whole of Christmas off. I understand that, you all work and different things and stuff, but it's quite a good time to be in the moment. Christmas is, yeah. We've done lots of work this year. Our plans have changed up and down, and so on and so on and so on. So on the 18th of December, should be in your diaries already. Christmas special mindfulness should be really, really good to send you into that Christmas period.